Welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode of Signals from Mars, presented to you by the Mars Attacks podcast. Yes, hopefully we don't have any of the technical issues that we've been having these last few weeks. I spoke to someone after last week's show, and they were telling me, how do you get your voice so low? And I'm thinking, well, must be years of practice of, podcasting and everything else. I guess my voice has matured and fit into all of this. And I guess what they actually meant was that somehow my voice was coming out as like a mixture of like Andre the Giant and Barry White. It turns out that the new webcam that I'm running with the new webcam software that I'm using did not jive with my setup with my usual mic, which I can't use this week because of that. So I'm going through my my webcam mic. Not ideal, but better than anything else that I can work with at the time. So yeah. So this week, solo show again. I do have some guests lined up for next week and possibly the week after that. And hope you guys enjoy what I have in store for you. Initially, and I don't want to jinx this, next week we're going to have Yarg Metal's Brad Dahl. And he's someone that I know through Mark Striegel's Patreon page when I was running that, someone that I interacted with frequently behind the scenes. And we had talked about getting together and doing some things. And we're finally going to do something. We're going to do something on the live stream next week. And he's actually a poison control person out in Utah, but he runs his own metal station called Yarg Metal. So check that out if you are so inclined. Checking in, we have the usual so far. Jeremy Weltman over in the UK, Jose up in Connecticut, and welcome aboard, fellas. Jeremy, like I said, is one of my patrons, as is Mike Jones, the one that pointed out the fact that the last two episodes that I uploaded of the podcast, or at least the last one, did not sound great. And that's when I started investigating. Spent the entire afternoon troubleshooting things, and finally looks like we got on top of things. So I have to wait to get some new components to make sure this works correctly. You would hope, or I would hope, that I would have been able to get all this sorted out by now, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So I do apologize for those that have dealt with the issues, the audio issues. That's what I'm getting at. I'm sorry, trying to do two things at the same time. I just want to remind you guys that the one-stop shopping deal to figure out all the social media stuff is MarsAttacksRadio.com, because we have all kinds of stuff. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have a Facebook group, we have a Facebook page, we have a Telegram channel, and we also have a link tree, which if you add that, or if you go to that URL, if you prefer to go to that instead of MarsAttacksRadio.com, it has all the great links to find all the social media stuff out there. So last night I did do a Galaxy of Geeks show at the same time. Galaxy of Geeks is I don't remember what number podcast that I started. The idea behind it was to reach out to someone who I was at college radio with, Chris Vaglio, and I kind of pitched the idea to him and said, "Hey, do you want to do this? You know, he was the co-owner of a company that did commercials and documentaries and stuff like that. And, he's got a Star Wars sleeve tattoo. And my whole idea was, okay, I'll host it. I'll appear from time to time. And you do the editing and everything else. And he was like, okay, I'll do the show with you. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. We haven't done the show as frequently as that I would have liked. I get it. He's just started a new business. So obviously that takes precedence over anything that I'm doing here. So, okay, I'm being told it froze. Is it still frozen? Let me know. I have it running on another screen in the background on Facebook. So I'm not sure if that's a Twitch issue. Jose, we'll see. I'll keep an eye out on things. Okay, so Jeremy's saying it's fine for him on YouTube. All of this stuff's been working wonky. Like I said, I've been troubleshooting it all afternoon. But again, we'll have a slightly different setup next week, and hopefully we can forget about all the technical issues going forward. Anyway, so Galaxy of Geeks. I don't want the show to die because we talk about a lot of stuff that I enjoy, sci-fi stuff, movies, pop culture, stuff like that. And what I want to do is similar to this, do a weekly show going over some recent news. I did an episode yesterday, was roughly half hour long. Unfortunately, had the Andre the Giant voice going. So I'm not going to post that anywhere because it just sounds it sounds really bad to me. I do apologize. Again, I hope that next week going forward that will no longer be an issue. So, yeah. So if you're so inclined and want to check out Galaxy of Geeks live stream, that is Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. in the UK, and midnight Central European time zone. Again, it's slightly different than this, or not slightly. It's kind of the same format, but different content. So there you go. And the idea is that if I can't do the show, Chris will do a solo show, and for the most part, we'll do the two of us is whenever we can get together. So that's that. Let's hop on over to and talk about some news and about different things that are going on here. Let's go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Let's go on over to the Mars Attacks website. So just uploaded 2 audio versions of live streams. Episode 196 has some jittery audio, so I apologize for that. 195 seems to be okay. But if you guys ever run into any issues, please feel free to drop me a line. You can do it here. I'm saying here. You can do it via Facebook, Twitter, any of the social media sites that are up there on MarsAttacksRadio.com. I'm very approachable. Just let me know. Hey, this audio doesn't sound right, or whatever. It's cool. I'm cool with that. I want to make sure that all this stuff works good as well. So, I hope to have more interviews up shortly. I apologize. Just the beginning of the year, it's kind of slow still. I didn't update the new releases. Next week, we're finally going to start to see a bunch of new releases. There was like one new thing released today. There was... let me look it up here real quick. And I've been posting videos by this band on the Patreon site. Damn it. They're band out of North Carolina. Come on. Nothing more exciting than watching someone surf or something. Here we go. Bloody Hammers is the name of the band. Kind of a combination between like Type O Negative, kind of like macabre, like old 50s horror look behind them. The bass player kind of looks like Morticia Adams. Her boyfriend, their husband, I forget what it is, the lead singer. And the drummer's a guy wrapped up like a mummy. So there you go. Check that out. That came out today. That is called Songs of Unspeakable Terror. And they just released the third video. We'll be posting that on Patreon this weekend. So it'll go up and it'll be part of the videos that will be displayed. Some of the stuff that I posted recently, I posted a Whitesnake video for Steal Your Heart. What are you guys into this week? Which is always fun to check. The premiership, him and his Manchester City. He's looking forward to a weekend of some football. Let's see. We posted a video by Silvera. Stillwell, album of the week. So this is something that Jeremy suggested and something that I want to do. It's kind of my unboxing of my red vinyl copy of AC/DC's latest album, Power Up. And Patreon has certain things that I love about it and certain things that I kind of don't like. And this whole video component really sucks. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with it because I've tried posting videos through Dropbox and through Google Drive and also from my server, and none of it seems to work. Patreon wants me to post this to YouTube, but kind of the reason for making it a Patreon exclusive is that only people on Patreon get to see this stuff. So, if you really know how to search on YouTube, you can find all this stuff. So to me, it's kind of unfair if I post it on YouTube as like an added bonus and people, the people that are supposed to be seeing it aren't seeing it. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Anyway, let's hit on some news. So the top stories here on Blabbermouth. Motley Crue celebrates their 40th anniversary. Paul Stanley announces Soul Station album. I believe there's a single that's out. Oh. Why is it jumping to that? All right, anyway. Some weeks this works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so anyway, Hammy Sagar and Michael Anthony talk about Van Halen tribute concert. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition. I think they should do one with, a bunch of people involved, kind of like what they did with Chris Cornell when he passed away. Would be cool with, former members of the band playing, Wolfie playing, and, other people that idolized him. There's plenty of people out there. So it would be kind of cool. Sebastian Bach slams Chris Jericho again. John Schaefer has not been charged for invading the Capitol building yet. We'll see. Jeff Pilson responds to Don Dokken pretty much saying thanks, but no thanks. Saying something along the lines of, I agree with Don. I know his thinking, but I kind of didn't record this album for Don. So there you go. All right, so some of the latest news. Ex-Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno crowdfunding campaign launched for long overdue knee surgery. Todd LaTorre says 9-year run with Queensrÿche has been an awesome experience so far. Mark Striegel just interviewed him as well. It's posted on his Talking with Mark Striegel. And Todd talks about some heavy stuff there, and I'm not talking about music, some heavy like life experiences, different like family matters that were inspirations to some of the music on his upcoming solo album. All the stuff that I've heard so far off the solo album sounds really cool. I actually talk about that interview a little bit more in depth on something that I recorded for Mark Striegel, a recap show that I'm now doing for him on his Patreon channel. That kind of recaps some of the more standout points of the last few episodes. So, episode 1. Some people may like it, some people may not. Everyone's free to their opinion, and things will evolve and get better, hopefully, as time goes by. So there you go. Nikki Sixx pays tribute to New York Dolls guitarist Sylvain Sylvain. Sylvain just passed away yesterday. Someone that I know Chris from Decibel Geek tried over the years to get out to Rockin' Pod. He was living out in the Nashville area, but he had cancer and unfortunately passed away. So Tesla's Brian Wheat doesn't think rock is dead, but admits it's become more of a selective thing. I don't know. I can agree with the fact that maybe vinyl collecting is a selective thing. But I'm not sure that rock in itself is a selective thing. There's a lot of cool bands out there. Still, there's a lot of good new music out there that you can check out. I talk about it all the time. I talked about it last week. But, to me, Brian wanted Phil Collen of Def Leppard to produce their last album so that it would be Hysteria Part 2. And it's dreadful. Former The Black Crowes guitarist Mark Ford says he was asked on 2 separate occasions to join Guns N' Roses. So he recently appeared on an episode of The State of Amorica, a Black Crowes podcast. And he talks about this. I think that the first people that I saw kind of do like shows that focused on a band were people like Ken Mills and people like Matt Porter, where they were doing Kiss-centric podcasts and Cheap Trick-centric podcasts. And, there's a bunch of others, Pot of Thunder and Podcast Rock City. And, there's a bunch of different ones. There's a lot. It's slipping my mind right now. But, yeah, so it's interesting that all these years later, we have the Black Crowes podcast. We have Metallica podcast. We have an AC/DC podcast. So it's kind of neat. So if you want to hear more about that, check out The State of America, Black Crowes podcast. See what Mark Ford has to say. Watch Dio perform Rainbow in the Dark from Holy Diver live reissue. Yeah, they just reissued that. The Evil or Divine live in New York City. They did a picture disc vinyl for Record Store Day, if I'm not mistaken. Look kind of cool. Watch Foo Fighters perform Waiting on a War and No Son of Mine on Jimmy Kimmel Live. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what that new album sounds like. Songs have sounded okay. Medicine at Midnight is the name of the album. I believe it drops. Not sure if it's this month or next month, so I apologize. But yeah, I don't know. I really love Color in the Shape. I really love Wasting Light, and I like Things Along the Way. But I don't know. Silver and Gold. Was that the name of the last album? No, that was Adrian Smith Project. Adrian Smith and Project. But, I don't know. I wasn't that into that album. Rainbow singer Ronnie Romero replaces Jolene Turner in Sunstrom. Afterlife album due in March. Ronnie Romero is all over the place. Of course, this is a Frontiers album. He's almost become like the go-to guy for Frontiers when they need something. So he's a Chilean-born lead singer who's been living in Spain for a long, long time. So, hey, if he's getting paid for it, why not? I think he'd do the same thing, too. See new trailer for Serge Tankian's documentary, Truth to the Power. I have to be honest with you. I saw this picture before out of the corner of my eyes, and I thought it was The Shining, the picture of Jack Nicholson with his head peering out. It's kind of like the same angle off to the side. Sorry. But yeah, Serge is great. His music, I like. Sound like Yoda there. System of a Down. Shavo releases Rifle in Thought. Music video from North Kingsley Project. That's his other band. If you thought System of a Down was new metal, that's like straight up like rap. Saga releases acoustic version of Wind Him Up from Symmetry album. Progressive rock supergroup Transatlantic launches Looking for the Light music video. Foo Fighters, John Bon Jovi, and Bruce Springsteen to perform at Biden-Harris inauguration event. Politics aside, why are they having an inauguration event? With everything COVID related, not for nothing, you can't knock. If are they going to do something on the Washington Mall? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. AFI is back with 2 new songs, Twisted Tongues and Escape from Los Angeles. Here's Saxon's cover of Deep Purple's Speed King from Inspirations album. Yeah, I kind of don't want to. We've talked about this at length, something that Jeremy has. Let's see here. Jeremy chimed in. Amazing Todd, he opened up about his father. Also looking forward to the album. Yeah, some of the stuff he says about his father is pretty amazing. So let's get back to some of these comments here. Or I'm sorry, some of these headlines. Again, Kiss frontman Paul Stanley announced his debut Soul Station album, Now and Then. I wouldn't honestly prefer a new Kiss album, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I Hate God released new single, Fake What's Yours. Okay. Hear New Accept song, Zombie Apocalypse. And this is from last night once again. New York Dolls guitarist Sylvain dead at 69. Oh, another death that happened this week. Marcia Zazula, Johnny Z from Metal Blade Records' wife. For those that don't know who she was, Johnny Z is the guy that, with Megaforce, signed to Metallica, signed Anthrax, Overkill, Testament, the Old Bridge Militia, all this stuff that they were involved with, helped make metal what it is, what it was, what thrash was in the 80s and what metal has become all these years later. They were really, revolutionaries and pioneers and saw the potential in all of these bands, signed them. And thanks to them, we're able to enjoy their music all these decades later. So, my heart goes out to the Zazula family and to Sylvain's family as well. You will be sorely missed. Let's go to Brave Words. They have a few different headlines that I saw before. Oh, Tim Bogart also passed away yesterday, best known for his work with Cactus and with Jeff Beck. So Jeff Beck pays tribute to Tim Bogart here. Says his style was totally unique, was never properly recognized. So that trio was Tim Bogart, Carmine Appice, Vinny is Appice, Carmine Appice, and Jeff Beck. And it's cool that Jeff Beck has come out to recognize him. Carmine and Tim worked in a lot of different projects together. I actually have an album by a Spanish guitarist called Javier Vargas, where the singer's Paul Shortino on that, and they cover a lot of different things. And Tim is playing, and I believe he sings on some of the tracks, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. A few other things here. Sanguisugabog. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. To release Tortured whole album in March via Century Media. Not safe for work music video streaming. Okay. Fortress releases Waiting for the Night album. Bloodhound to release Creatures of the Dark Realm album in May when Fate is Calling video streaming. Metalite release official lyric video for A Virtual World. Crack the Sky release Tribes album, music video streaming, and the Dio news that I mentioned before. Wardruna shares lyrical video for new single Scooge Me. Thunder released new video for Going to Sin City. Tesla bassist Brian Wheat on bans and activity. Traveling and getting sick isn't a high priority of things that we want to have happen. Okay. And just mentioned that. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of that band again. Between Rock and a Prague Place, Nick DiVirgilio retraces the steps of studio drumming for Genesis. Soilwork making waves. Signal 13, which is back in December. Okay. Metal Injection and Metal Sucks kind of had the same headline, so I'm just going to look over stuff from Metal Injection this week. King 810, frontman, admits to being on the steps of the Capitol building, but says that he was filming a music video. Iced Earth fans demand refund after John Schaefer's actions at U.S. Capitol. Metal in the mainstream, rapper Ty Digga $, or Ty $. My bad, I'm not up with this stuff, Tucka. I feel like Dr. Evil here. Covers Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. Metal Injection have their weekly injection roundup. 50 albums celebrating their 10th anniversary. It looks like all of these sites are doing this. King Crimson's Robert Fripp and his wife covered Metallica's Enter Sandman. She's on an exercise bike while covering it. Kind of an interesting cover. See, AC/DC shows their Rock and Realize music video. Avenged Sevenfold crashed the new NoFX music video for Linoleum. I don't know. Yes, that 20-string Mountain Dew guitar, gents. Danny Elfman's new single, Sorry Is Gloriously Twisted. And Morris Plains, Greg Puciato drops video for Don't Want a Deal. So let's see. Some other latest news. Gatekeeper vocalist on Unexpected Reality. It's a detour. Black Sabbath Tony Iommi getting his own mini statue. Slay at Home, which is Metal Injection's live stream that they've been doing. And looks like they're going to be doing it on January 22nd. They're going to have members of Black Dahlia Murder. Jared has been playing with a lot of different big players lately. You know, he's a YouTube celebrity, and he's been doing stuff with Matt Hafey from Trivium as well. Got my headphones caught here. Excuse me. Tribulation streams thrashing new song Funeral Pyre. Let's go over to let's see, the PRP. See that Mr. Bob Nalbandian has liked the video. Thank you, Bob. Bob is a huge influence on all types of metal. If you don't know Bob, you should know Bob. He's part of the Shockwaves, or his show Shockwave Skull Sessions. He's part of this CMS Classic Metal Show, a network that they have along with Joshua Toomey and his Drag the Water Pantera podcast. See, there's another one that focuses on bands. Plus, Josh does Talk to Me. And, of course, CMS, a Classic Metal Show. So, yeah, shout out to Mr. Bob Nalbandian. He's also behind all the check this out real quick here. Yeah, does not say. So I'm prepared. There you go. I'm not prepared. Rage Against the Machine and the Uma Chroma examine whiteness with new short film Killing in Thy Name. Okay. Mentioned that video already. Breaking Benjamin's Keith Wallen releases new solo track, Dream Away. I've always liked selective Breaking Benjamin over the years. Darko, Amur and Chelsea Grin debut Dona video. Here, Fear Factory's Dino Cazares guest on new Frontline Assembly track Stifle. Holding Absence premiere Afterlife music video. The Soft Moon, Luis Vasquez releases new instrumental album, A Body of Errors. I mentioned Chavo's side project, and I mentioned Tribulation already. All right, let's go over to Kerrang and see what's going on in the UK. Fall Out Boy to perform at Joe Biden pre-inauguration concert. So there you go, pre-inauguration. So this is like kind of pre-Super Bowl, pre-WrestleMania, pre-all that stuff. There you go. More news about people from New Jersey. Frank Ayero. I'd like to think my confidence has grown exponentially as an artist, but you still have those moments of self-doubt. We all have that, Frank. Now hear this, Alex Baker on the best new metal, hardcore, and alt brilliance. Holding Absence. Music should not take us out of the real world, not keep us in it. Wait, music should take us out of the real world, not keep us in it. Guess depends what you're listening to. If I mentioned before, mentioned the Foo Fighters. They have a review of the excerpts. Chris Cornell's daughter, Tony, honors 30th anniversary of Temple of the Dog hunger strike. So, at least two of his daughters look like they're going to be involved in music in one way or another. And let's hop on over to Ghost Cult, good friend Keefe's site. The Dumb and Dumbest podcast, number 556. Jesse Cannon and Aol Levy on where good items come from. Watch members of Slaves on Dope, Mastodon, Limp Bizkit, In Flames, 311, Veruca Salt, The Used cover Jane's Addiction's Mountain Song. Yes, there's a reason why I skipped over the name of a certain band there. They ripped me off. No, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. True facts. Ghost Cult presents Mini Metal Mixtape number 12. This is in conjunction with WKDU 91.7 in Philadelphia, which is a hard rock, or I should say college metal station. My bad. Listen, okay, we mentioned the I Hate God, and exclusive video, watch Abby K cover Motorhead's Ace of Spades. Yes, Motorhead's Ace of Spades. I read it backwards. And the passing of Sylvain at 69. They have an album review on Miss Lava Doom Machine. I've actually heard this. Sounds pretty cool. Exclusive. Ludovico Technique shares a lyric video for Up to the Flames. Motley Crue to hold 40th anniversary celebration this weekend. And back to the Dumb and Dumbest episode 555, more on email marketing. So there you go. One last thing that I read right before coming on the air, and I will give props to Richie over at Focus on Metal. He posted this. So it says, looks like Tracy won the battle for the LA Guns name and posted this on his Facebook page. He should have blacked out his address, though. True. So as of January 5th, Tracy Gunn seems to now own the name LA Guns. So it'll be interesting to see where all of this goes, because that whole battle has been going back and forth between one version of LA Guns and another version of LA Guns. And, we'll see where that all lands. But yeah, nothing more confusing for fans than to have, to follow multiple iterations of a specific band. So that seems to be pretty much it for this week. Want to thank you guys for joining me once again. Those that have, the regulars, Jeremy, Jose, anyone else that is watching or listening to this in the recorded format as opposed to checking it out live. I thank you either way. Please join us if you can on Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, 11 p.m. in the UK, and midnight in Europe. Subscribe on YouTube to the signals from our show. Make sure to hit the bell so that it tells you that, it tells you when we have new episodes up. And it also tells you when a new episode is scheduled. So that is that. Thanks again, guys, for checking this out. Thanks again for anyone that decides to jump on board and do the Patreon with us, take that journey. Again, polls, videos, exclusive content available there as well. $2 a month, $2 and up if you're interested. So that is that. Thanks again, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll be here next week. And that is all, folks. There we go. See ya. Let me get this going. I'm saying goodbye before getting this up. Now I mean it. See ya.